Only access recovery team. Having sense of you, but they will be mistake. The rescue mission, anything to excuse mission. Right there's the deliverable, no cowboys in the world. For half only access recovery team. Having sense of you, but they will be mistake. Only conjures a wala, they may not be the body or if you cut down. The reality I am not believing. For now, not just in you. They want to go, they may not get out on follow. Could you go? Could you go? Could you go? Rescue mission, anything to excuse mission. Right there's the deliverable, no cowboys in the world. For half only access recovery team. Having sense of you, but they will be mistake. Somebody help me, I like again. They may see it again, talking. But I mean, come talking. So you can get me for talking. And I be out in that. Or you making it harder. I told the people say he was sleeping. Only not believe he was sleeping. See you right now you sleeping. See my people regretting. Why did you regret? I will say that you ain't here, you can't get me. The rescue mission, anything to excuse mission. Right there's the deliverable, no cowboys in the world. For half only access recovery team. Having sense of you, but they will be mistake.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Isues, for we are here. And hats up to you, my fantastic students, wherever you are. It's quite great joining you tonight. We are behind time, about 18 minutes past 8 already. So we have to do everything we can to make sure that indeed we keep you abreast with information relating to what our country is about. So we are very happy, except that I would like to hear from you the reception report, especially whether you are getting me very, very clear. I would like to get that first before I start to say anything, any further. But you can keep sharing, and when you're on the YouTube page, you can like as well. which is very much important. But those of you on the YouTube page, yeah, and Cecilia Logan, I'm seeing you, Joseph K. Sulonte, and we are seeing you as well, and several other persons. Matilda Stevens, yeah, I did see you, and our great folks, and very clear audio, and I'm hearing from Cyrus Joel McGee. Yes, Cyrus, thank you so much for that reception report. Yeah, because I'm using this headgear that has a microphone attached, and I just thought it would interfere with the broadcast and not give us the kind of quality of sound that we want, especially for you out there as a people. So we are very much happy that we are here together. So let me say welcome to all of you, Cyrus, the rest of the other folks in the diaspora, especially the United States of America. And let me say hats up to you. It was quite a great day from yesterday, even up to now. And you guys are celebrating and democracy and in good faith. And one of my mothers had to call me today, and she was celebrating. And she said, "Hey, we're feeling with the people here." I said, "What is that?" And initially she had told me that she's a Democrat, but she said, "We're feeling with the people here." I said, "Well, why are you saying we finished with these people here? Why are you saying that?" He said, "Yeah, and they gave us Joseph Boga. We ourselves will get Donald Trump too." I said, "Hey, Omar, you can join the politics just for obvious reasons." The woman said, "And they go give us how they call it? They said people gave us Joe Boga. We ourselves will get them Donald Trump. So we feel give them Donald Trump." Now I said, "Oh, so that all you went to vote for?" She said, "Yes. Now why I want to go vote for? Make sure that that they were able to get Donald Trump." I said, "But what about Donald Trump?" They said, "No, and they are own man there elect. So we ourselves will try to give in." So we think for sure with all that we are now saying, with God above all, with the congratulations messages all over, we are very excited about America's democracy, which is very great. And congratulations to all those who supported or who are supporters or who are Republicans. We want to say congratulations to all of you who are Republicans. And for the Democrats, though you didn't expect it as such, but it happened. And so you just have to accept it and then move on, because this is life and this is what it is. So there's nothing else we can do about it. We just have to accept it and move on. Yeah, that is what life is. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I've been following, but of course, following for research, doing some research here to understand as to whether Kamala Harris and Kamala Harris and has already congratulated Donald Trump. And I think that's one thing he was waiting for. But world leaders, including our own former president and His Excellency George Weah, was able to send his congratulations message, being the first Liberian official, a Liberian stakeholder, to have sent a congratulations message. We think for sure he did that. Today, wishing Donald Trump his success. So that's it. Frances Samble Clark says it is very hard to accept. That's what election is all about. It's about the will of the people. So she says it's very hard to accept, but you have to accept it. And I would think for sure you have to. I know it's difficult. It had always been difficult, especially, but it is an obvious result that people expect. There has to be one winner. There has to be one winner. No matter what you do, you go or you come down, there has to be a winner. So you got to brace yourself for out of it. It's either you end up on the winning side or you end up on the losing side. In election, there's no draw, right? There's no draw. There will always be a winner. So you got to brace yourself for that, and which is very essential for democracy. And I know you people know about democracy the best way, and you people know how to employ all of the tactics and techniques. And so Nina Kwe is telling me that Kamala Harris is expected to speak at 4 p.m. today. And so she hasn't congratulated yet. They don't know why this late. But again, that's it. Donald Trump did not accept and congratulate Joe Biden. In fact, he had never accepted the election result until he's back to the presidency. So, and we think for sure it's very essential for Donald Trump. Maybe Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris. So it's like is the repeat. The Democrats don't want to, but they have to because there is no controversy surrounding this election. Yeah, the results, it came from within strongholds as well. You know, when your strongholds are areas that you fall in so flat and so forth, then, you know, that element of controversy or it is not accepted. It's difficult. And so Matilda Stevens says today is a sad day for some of us in America. Matilda, I will tell you some story about why you shouldn't be sad. And you know, I did it for you people, right? So for all of you whom I did it for, or we did it together when the CDC lost the election, and then we gave you reason why you should be able to accept the results. It's the same reason that we will give some of you tonight. And you know, some of you will try to give you those same reasons tonight so that you can get it and know that it is good for democracy. I don't know why my YouTube people, I'm not but watching myself on YouTube. Looking behind me there, it is YouTube that I'm on. So I think I'm on YouTube as well, right? Yeah, I'm very much on YouTube. So I don't know why others could be struggling, but I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook, and I think it's very much good that indeed we go up. But before we can go into our own local stuff here, let me try to touch you a bit about the U.S. election, and let me try to console some people, and some of you, and William Bato says, AB, we are moving about our normal businesses here, AB. There's no tension here. In fact, I just ate my rear beans tteokbokki, and I'm watching you. I like that. Matilda Steve, don't get yourself, you know, too much. But let me tell you something about the election result and see what it really means for Liberia, which is very much important for all of us. And I think I can just weigh in a bit on what it really means for Liberia and what we should watch out for, especially for Liberia. It's very much essential. Donald Trump winning the election, it speaks to how the who are the angry winners against this here. No angry winners in this thing. I think the Republicans are happy, right? They are very much happy. So Donald Trump winning the elections in relation to Liberia now. Me, I'd like to be specific about what I want to say. Then we'll get to our own local politics and get to the situation at the national legislature and all of the things that are unfolding there. We'll try to explain what we know about some of it, and we think for sure it's very much good for them. But what is very good? You're trying to play the jackpot. You can play the jackpot. Isues ball we are here. We'll be able to do the draws and call you up from there. It is star. You know the three wise men starts today. So the star 799 star 100 hash. Now tonight, we're going to give 20,000 to 3 persons, and we're going to give 100,000 to 1 person tonight. Isues ball we are here. We'll be able to do all of that from that end and call you people up so that we can get that. And we think for sure, Etta Gay, please don't cry and calm down. I know it's very painful. Let us be able to understand from where we are. It's very important. Yeah, calm down. It's very painful. It's normally painful. It's very frustrating and very much frustrating. But you try to bear patience. Now, politics, don't put yourself, you know, we think for sure we are getting there. Patrick Kwabo Peterson says, Kamala has already congratulated Trump, and of course, Nina Kwe said I'm a Democrat, but I voted for Trump. Reasons best known to myself. He said, you know, anyway, we get it there, Kamala. So several of you, but again, let's. Well, then our man is people's choice. Yeah, he says here breaking news. What is the breaking news about? Oh, he said LMP officers allegedly fought over seizing pork meat at GSA. Man, I was following the fracas at the Sunfa police station. Yeah, I don't know whether it's that, but it's very terrible. But anyway, let's get on to tell you what we make of the American election in likening it to Liberia, what it means for Liberia. And That Kamala. Yeah, my water ability I got it. Forget about that. I don't come to Neil election. So let us try to liken the US election to that of Liberia, what it means for Liberia, and what we should be looking at. So first of all, there are many of you out there who are saying, first of all, it shows a great sign, and that any president who may have been booted out of presidency is able to make a comeback, and that is dependent on the success or dependent on the achievements or performance of the successor, especially that immediate successor. So for the president to make a comeback, it is heavily dependent on the successor. So the one who succeeds that president, who's taking off power, your performance will determine whether that old president will come back or he will stay off for good. It's dependent on that. So many are saying that, especially the folks within the CDC, and we think for sure they are saying that, look, this thing is likened to Liberia, and it tells you what will happen in Liberia's case. But before Trump can even make a comeback or whatever it is, Trump is going to be any, because it starts now in January, it's 2025, 26, 27, so 26, 27, 28, wow, 2029 around there, yeah. All right, we're going to see it. But it's very much important that we'll be able to look at that aspect as well. So people are saying it's going to be the same as CDC making a comeback or Georgia making a comeback. But again, it's dependent heavily on the variables, especially as it relates to the current government. And in this case is Joseph Yuman Boakai. We hope that he and his team can do everything they can because they have just seen what it is. But deeper into what it means for Liberia is this. I know many of you have been following Liberian politics. Most of the sanctions that were waged on the CDC government happened on the Democrats. And we think for sure it's very much an important moment for our country. Now, the Democrats are not in power to help or stay with the government that they made. They helped, we can say it that way. Because these sanctions play a role, but not as significant as others will see it, but it plays a role and so forth. The next thing that comes along with that is that the issue of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. The establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court was pushed on the Democrats. But it was a concerted effort by folks within America, within American realm of power, who came together and wanted the War Crimes Court to have taken place. So it came from both Republicans and it came from Democrats. Now, Beth, on the other hand, is a Democrat. And she's the head for justice affairs in America. She has been running after this whole thing. On the other hand, you have Alan White, a Republican. Chris Smith, the man who championed all of the sanctions, a Republican. Marco Rubio, he's also a Republican. Now, you see all of these things happen. That's why you saw the former ambassador in Liberia, Michael McCarthy, he's also a Republican. He played to the tune of those Republicans to make sure that Liberians were sanctioned in the way it worked. But the Democrats benefited from it because their Department of Justice was also concerned about the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Now, the Americans are united, especially when it comes to the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Where a bit of division came in, because Alende got involved with this whole process. Where a bit of division came in is when Alan White working with the likes of Jerome Vedia and out of working with Marco Rubio and working with Chris Smith, when they were now working together, they saw that the Democrats were working with Liberian campaigners whom they, Vedia and team, had problems with. So the BEF group had great explicit interest in Hassan Belete and their team. Now, Alan White and the rest of the other guys, Jerome Vedia and that of Luzon and so forth, they have problems with that group. They believe that group should not form part of the war crime squad activities in this country because they have accused them of doing witnesses coaching. So the Democrats and Republicans were split as to who to get involved with the Liberian war crimes code process. This is where they divided. But on the overall, they all want the War and Economic Crimes Code to come on. So, Beth leading the Democrats was more leaned towards Hassan Belete and the rest of the other guys. That's why you saw that Jonathan Massacre, the man who was recommended, quote unquote, they said it was Jerome Vedia that recommended Jonathan Massacre. Now, the Democrats who were here, they decided to have problem with Massacre. And they said the entire process was not clear because they never wanted Alan White there to be controlling the War Crimes Court office because they recommended Jonathan Massacre. That's why you saw Joe Bwaka made a U-turn. Without even recalling Jonathan Massacre, he decided to just dissolve that whole appointment and decided to open up a process. And that is why now you saw everything changing. Because there was a split. There is a split between Republicans and that of Democrats. Now, Joe Bwaka has slapped Alan White in the face. For the fact that Joe Bwaka decided to take up Jonathan Massacre, Joe Bwaka no longer talks to Alan White. Joe Bwaka no longer talks to Marco Rubio or the rest of the other folks. So Chris Smith, who championed this whole thing about calling Georgia regime or criminal regime or so forth here and there, Chris Smith is not happy. Now, in the election that just ended, just from yesterday, Chris Smith, fortunately for him, he was able to maintain his Republican seat in New Jersey. Now, so Donald Trump has now won with more legislative influence for Donald Trump, which put people like Chris Smith then now in charge. What will now Bwaka do? That is the horror now Bwaka is faced with. Bwaka is now faced with a Republican-led war crimes court team, which he has to work with. And you're going to see a lot of reshuffles, and I'm afraid that perhaps there could be some shake-up again because it's very, very essential. I want you to watch out for that. And if it is true, because I was hearing from folks, because I got lately involved, because if you ask your civil society chief then in Liberia, during the Tom Lantos hearing, if you ask them, during that hearing, there was a serious split between the Democrats and the Republicans as to who all should get involved with the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. They never wanted certain group to be there. So the Republicans were pushing certain groups out. And they said that, look, we have the legs of Alan White, who has been a campaigner, who has been working with people, and so we think that this one should work. And that's why it has been like. So it is a fortunate situation now for Alan White and the legs of the other guys. What will now Bwaka do? Because the Republicans are now in power. The Democrats are no longer in power. They will have their say on who gets to get involved with the War and Economic Crimes Court. Because that's the only way they will be able to rally their support. So they're going to be clear on it. And it's going to be the long haul. But again, like we are saying, we look forward to seeing that there will be uniformity and it will reconcile everything and it works out better for the sake of our country. Because we think the War and Economic Crimes Code is something that we all have to work towards and see to it that we support it at all costs. So the Republican House, Senate, and Supreme Court all under their control, like some of our students are saying now. So you see what's happening? The Republicans dominated the entire governance status. So they will want to exercise that exclusive, that executive control over what happens. Donald Trump may not have time for Africa, like you will say, so forth. But the guys who are there, because America is clear about the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, as to the involvement of people is where the problem is. So Joe Biden needs to start thinking again. He needs to start thinking again. He has to start reshifting towards, I don't know how to call it. So we hope that they can do the best. But those are the things that are happening for this election. Now, for those of you who are thinking that, oh, Trump not supposed to win, you think I personally, I didn't support Trump. I supported Kamala Harris. But you know what? It's good that Trump won. It's very important that Trump won, especially for our democracy. It's good that he won for the sake of our democracy, and let's see what happens. You will get to understand in the long run what it means. You can get yourself in it and make sure that everything works for the sake of our country, which is very much important for all of us. So you can play your cash giveaway, and I hope you are playing there. So, Israel Ball, we are here, will be able to do the draw. So I will be going off at maybe 9:30 or 9:45, and Israel will do the rest to deal with you people there to make sure that the draws go on. So let me just start up here with what's happening. Folks, I know you may have listened to the former president of the Republic of Liberia yesterday about happenings in Liberia in relation to the events unfolding at the National Legislature. He was very blunt that he would recommend suspension for those who have ties to CDC who are involved with it, especially. He mentioned Thomas Fallah. And today, the Congress for Democratic Change was able to act, thus suspending Thomas Fallah and the rest of the other folks who are involved. Today again, the justice in chambers at the Supreme Court declined to issue the writ of prohibition prayed for by the Kofa camp. Today again, Thomas Fallah responded to the CDC's suspension. He accepted ACC, not EXCEPT. He accepted and said he will subject himself to that with a strong worded statement that was all on Facebook, and we're going to analyze that tonight. The next thing that happened today is that Friends Afoko, Papi Flomo, or Color Green, and the rest of the other folks, they wrote the speaker complaining Thomas Fallah for breaching the rules and rampant corruption that was carried out by him. They accuse him of budget manipulations, but those ones will get to it later on. But tonight, for the sake of this discussion, for the sake of tonight's show, I would like to lay out the basis one by one. Let us first come to the action of the justice in chambers today. And I did post it on my Facebook page. Whether you like it or not, Liberia is destined. I'm saying it again. Liberia is destined for crisis. You go up, you come down. If you take a look around you, everything evolving our society now, everything is abnormal. And those abnormal behaviors that are coming from both the educated, the uneducated, and so forth, it speaks volume about the nation not being in sound state. The nation is in a confused state. And when a nation is in a confused state, what it leads to is a crash. Remember, if a driver is confused driving your car, what is anticipated? If a pilot is piloting a plane, and he's in a confused state. What is expected of him? When a nation is grappled with confusion, what happens? The only thing you see is either this person hot, put their acts together, and then move on. But if anything is not done for you to make a stop or make a break, you are destined to crash. And the nation is on the verge of crashing. I say this because the things that are happening around are not normal. The things happening around us, they are not normal. So you can see it for yourself. We have tried our best to understand that most times when things are happening, people get around, people look at it, and they try to, you got to look at your surrounding, look at your environment. What is happening? Is it normal? No. Now, today, the justice in chambers decided to deny the writ of prohibition. But prior to the denial of that writ, following the conference, the justice in chamber rendered what we call an oral opinion. And he said to the guys, owing to XYZ that has happened, it is most prudent that when you people to venture into XYZ that you want to do to the speaker, you better you put yourself back under the gabble of the speaker and then go and the court in due process. That was what he said. So that news came up and the guys left from there, and that was what it is. Although before going to the justice in chamber, they had already challenged the court. They were already having section at the same time they went to the court. That was an affront to the court. The court, the justice in chambers, supposed to have taken an action against these guys and said, look, for you people violating our order, there was no stay order in place. I don't know what the justice in chambers lifted today. There was no stay order in place. The guys were still operating. The guys were still performing. They were still acting. So they were saying, it's just like in our country, and no one is above the law. No one is above the law. A stay order is a stay order. But the guys were still having their sections. At the same time, they said, we're going to the court. And that is contentious act. They were held then in contempt first and said, look, why you got it is a contemptuous act. You can't have this done. But that was not looked into. And then the justice in chambers decided to say, okay, you know what? Why it is true I have said this, I will not be able to grant the writ of prohibition. Now, some of the arguments legal opponents are having, I was listening to my man Julius J. show, where he called Ambrose. My Ambrose is saying that, look, the justice in chambers did not ask for it, did not issue the prohibition because he believed that the rights of Fonati Kofa was never touched yet, because he has not gotten right. Secondly, that Fonati Kofa, they are not removing yet because the Fonati Kofa group or his legal team were relying on the Stereo Disasi relying case that they used was the issue about the Snow saga. And they said in the Snow case, he was removed and ran to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, no, the process through your movement was wrong. You needed to get so number, but it hasn't reached that stage yet for Fonati. And Thomas Fallah then even acknowledged, their legal team acknowledged that, look, we haven't yet removed this man yet. That man is still speaker. We are still finding way. So there's no way we have infringed on his rights. We are only having our separate section through which we are doing everything we can, but in the end, we'll have to go on his gabble to be able to make sure that we gave our XYZ reasons and then subject him to due process. That is what they said. So the justice in chamber, one way or the other, was able to look at it, honor those reasoning, and say, okay, say it has not come to the issue of the removal. And Fonati Kofa is still speaker. I think the rights are not violated yet, so will not be able to issue the stay order. Right? So will not be able to issue the prohibition, the prohibition. So will not be able to issue the prohibition as far to pray for. So that how come the justice in chamber said, no, we can't issue that. People will leave the stay The wish of God never existed in the first place. There was no stay in the first place. So they never lifted, they just lifted that and then it went on. So that is what it is. It doesn't mean anything. Thomas Fallah then has stay honor obligation as per the Constitution. So the court is still watching. The moment they take that quorum, the moment they take that quorum and operate with it to say they're removing him, then there's a problem. Fonati can equally run back to the court. If Joseph Yuma Bwaka decided to take the budget and present it to that body, Fonati Kofa will construe that as an act of removal. You know how the court can interpret that? Fonati Kofa is able to run back to the court and say, look, you can prohibit them from proceeding, right? Because they are not the right authority to take possession of such. Kofa could do. But I'm understanding for Kofa and his legal team, they are fighting to go to the Supreme Court, the full bench, with a different action from what I'm understanding. So let's see what action would that be. But we are watching the scene because they said there will be holiday tomorrow. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it will be holiday on tomorrow. And I would think for sure they can, yeah, let's see. So it's way Tuesday that the legislators will be going back to their section to operate. Now, yesterday's protest action, Vandera Party tried, but it didn't work up as planned. And, you know, there are a lot of things in place. And we are still watching. The real time will come and it shall happen. No matter how you think about it, it will certainly happen. So we are very grateful for that. Let's come to the CDC, folks. Today, the Secretary General of the CDC was able to convey the message of the National Executive Committee suspending 11 executives of the CDC who are legislators. It was quite an exciting moment, and that followed a statement from the President of the Republic, the former President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency, and condemning Thomas Fallah, making sure to recommend his suspension and subject him to investigation. And the next thing that will happen is to determine whether or not T5 should be expelled or he stays within the rank of the party. And that was the action that was taken by the CDC today. The CDC is for seditions. People like us, we have no fish to fry in it. So we are reading from the women voices that Kofa Saga is taking it to the full bench of the Supreme Court on constitutional grounds, because it is the full bench of the Supreme Court that looks into constitutional issues. Anything that appears before the justice in chambers and the borders around constitution, it is the full bench. So right after that today, Thomas Fallah decided to respond even before the CDC could end its press conference. Thomas Fallah had already accepted the suspension. Let me tell you something. Maybe you people may not know what in this country. Number one, where people like us, we are, it is our choice that put us here, so we don't blame anyone. That's why we envy no one for the progress they made. I've never contested, or I never have any intention to contest for any position which I did not get or denied, for which I will envy other people who contested it. I don't have time for that. I have never. Because I have never claimed my head to say I want to earn money like these other people, the way they put them making money. I'm going to say I want to be money like that. I never claimed my head like that. I wait for God's time. God's time is the best time. This is the response from Thomas Fallah today. I don't know who can be writing it in there for Thomas Fallah, or where he can come from before writing these things, or he just writes because he wants to write, or whatever it is good that he wrote today. So I will read for you his response. Let us listen to his response. He says here, to my dear, beloved CDC family, you know, Tifa wants to play, not wants to, but you want to play mind game on the seditions. Do you really believe that Tifa does not know that people in the United Party and other people that say seditions are stupid people? Yeah. And they had always thought that seditions, they are crazy people. They are not sound to think. So whatever you put outside is what it is they will take. But let me tell you, this brother is playing a mind game. Like I told you people, he understands it clearly that he has no base. I told you that Tifa was vulnerable. I told you that despite the vulnerability of T5, he still believes that while it is true that he acknowledges that he's vulnerable, this thing that he's fighting for, he must get it at all costs. And if he gets it, apparently, he might use what he has or what he wants to start getting back to the CDC. And you know how it will not work for him? Because the people he is working with to get it from them, they too get their own political ambition. So there's no way that T5 will say, you know what, wait, I'm fighting for the CDC. I'll read a statement, I'll analyze it for you. These people are not fools. T5. Look, I don't be blunt with people. I told you all that how my whole life look like. When I'm feeling bad, I will tell you how I feel about you. I'll tell you my own, go about my business. I don't want to know. I don't care about whether you praise me, you don't praise me, and that's what it is. T5 wants to stay within the CDC, drag the CDC in the ball, damage the CDC. That is what he is doing. All the trash that he's writing, I call it trash because T5 is not as sophisticated as sound people in this country. No, he may be sophisticated, he may have all of his money or whatever, but when it comes to sound and deductive reasoning, T5 is not one of those persons who will have to sit back and think that he's by far because he has the wealth or whatever it is. He thinks that he can just jump up and then play on the minds of the people. The reason I speak the way I speak, because I was one of those persons who championed the interests of this country and predicted every damages that unfolding today. So for any reason that people think that they have arrived and they have gotten what they wanted from the CDC, it's not a business. It's like what they and the CDC to do. But to purport themselves that they are smart and that people like us, we are still in this country. Where we went to school, we learn, we know exactly how to read between the lines. For these kind of people to come, they can do their thing there in the legislature. They can't come outside and put it here and then they think it will be on track. It's very much a lie. T5, look, you like it, you want to write your thing there, write whatever it is. But for you to really appeal and make sense to people like us, it's got to be very, very difficult. Because you know what? At the end of it, it is the Liberian people, when they are not in the know about you people behavior, they suffer. And because we don't want them to suffer, we explain to them what your actions are. That is what we do. whether opposition or government, we always explain to the people, this statement that your boss man made, that is what it means. This statement that Joseph Walker made, that is what it means. This statement that the other person made, that is what it means. So that they are aware that when they choose to accept it that way, then they assume whatever risks that may be involved. Listen to this thing. Let me analyze your own statement. Maybe you'll feel somehow. And before I close and go to somehow honor something, the court will deal with issues. And the more the court does not look into this thing, it leaves citizens with no other alternative but to treat their lawmakers politically. And you know how politics looks, right? Politics is a nasty game. It's dirty games. It's a win or lose. When people decide to treat you politically rather than the legal manner, there are consequences. There are casualties. That I know about politics. When people want to treat you politically, in politics, if you say you are going to run campaign, it is difficult for a politician to file a defamation lawsuit in a campaign process. That window that is open for campaign is a dirty game. That's when anybody can say anything to you. So if the court is not careful in looking into this matter and the citizens feel that indeed the legs of the other people are using money to do whatever it is and they take matters into their own hands, there may be dire consequences. It is possible. They started attacking some lawmakers' homes already. So the citizens feel that, look, the thing will say, oh, we calling them to the law, and the law said, no, you know what? We wash up our hands. It's like with you people and your lawmakers. You know what it takes for you to leave these lawmakers? They can tell their people that everything you ever earned today, we give it to you, and we'll take it away from you, certain way, somehow, and will be too deadly and will be costly for these guys. You see America? You know how they play with that Donald Trump case? Because the country's stability and the interest of the country was very key. People may have said, oh, the Democrats were in power. But yet, Trump still prevailed until he becomes president today with all those things against him. You know why? You know what he would have done? Look at the number of persons that voted for Trump today. You know what he would have done for them to have denied? When you see the people, the court can see. Look, let me tell you something. The court can reason. The court can see. I will come to that tomorrow for that something. The court can reason. The court can see. In America, the people were very careful. There were times that people may have said, oh yeah, there is XYZ happening to Donald Trump. No, leave that. The people were careful. They wanted to maintain their democracy. And the court played a pivotal role in where American democracy is today. The court, you must congratulate the independence of the American justice system. Look at the election ended today. There's no chaos, no crisis, nothing. Because you know why? The court aborted those chaotic movements ever since when Trump was being dragged to court. Those people play their role. That is the role of the court. That's the role of the justice system. It has to read between the lines and say, look, though this is XYZ, we think they are honor, but look at where we are. This thing here is somewhat politically driven, and we got to be very careful because if we leave it in the hands of politics, look at what was happening in America already. People started shooting people. You know what would have happened? You see what happened? The court, and I would tell the American justice system, that is, people will say, oh, some of the justices are there, and the chief justice or the justices are there. They were Democrats, people put in there. It doesn't matter. When it comes to the people country, they put their country first. They trust their system. They trust their system, and not damning for our own justice system, but we think that we can learn. We can learn from them. And say, look, these people, they were faced with monstrous problems. They ran to the court. That's why many thought Trump's presidential ambition would have died right before the courts. But invoking the law and allowing the law to take its course, and looking at where democracy is at the moment and the rule of law, they did all they could. Nobody will say, okay, the court gave clearance to no. But you could see that where the court to get SF involved, America would have been a different thing today. But they did their best. It did not speak to whether Trump was above the law. No, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. But a justice system is one that you can do all your things. You go up, you come down. And let always assert in our judicial canons and so forth, wherever they said the court is the last place of hope for mankind on earth. The last place of hope for mankind on earth is the court. They play their part. Today, American democracy, they are celebrating it. Look at how the results went. You see that? That is very, very important. These are lessons to learn from those people. You may call Trump what kind of name, he's a felon, or he's just blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's a criminal, blah, blah, blah. But the law is the law. We think that it is something to emulate. It's something to learn from. That is what democracy is all about. Democracy is built on the rule of law. Politicians will say what they want to say. The only thing that keeps them in check is the rule of law. That's why before they take their offices, they swear on nothing else but the Constitution. You know who put them in office? You know who they swear to? You know who stands before them for them to swear? It's the Chief Justice. They are swearing to the law. The president. The president of the republic, the most powerful man in the country. He swears. He takes an oath. And say, look, I will uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution, the laws of the land. Don't have a politician and do that, but the law of the land is what we got. That's my guiding principle. You don't play with the laws. That's why the people deal with their democracy. You saw Trump is president today. I'm not saying if it were in Liberia, I don't know how it would look like, but that is what they did with their democracy. Trump is president today. Learn it. You must learn from some of these things. Let's get to T5. His statement today. Like I said, all we are here, and we'll make your call and now keep playing your cash giveaway. Star 799 star. Yeah, you can go on with your stuff for hash. We are certainly getting there. With God, all things are possible. And I would like to open up some screens here, but to attach it, we'll certainly get there. Don't worry. Okay. So he says here. Let us read what let us read what is here. He says here to my beloved CDC family, Thomas Fallah now, responding to the suspension. My love and loyalty to the Congress for Democratic Change and to our leader, President George Manuel Weah, have been unwavering since day one. Together, we have endured trials and celebrated victories, always with the dream of a better Liberia in our hearts. I have always sacrificed for the CDC, and I demonstrated this during our most recent campaign in Lofa, where under the sounds of bullets and intimidations, we gave everything to improve our party's presence from the humble 7% in 2017 to an impressive 37% in 2023. Though the ultimate outcome did not favor us, the campaign remains a proof of our commitment to the party. I have always been willing to go extra mile for this party, and that is something I will always do. I want to make it clear that my actions in the legislature are motivated by a deep love for our country, my party, and a desire to see Liberia move forward. You're listening. He said his actions, his actions are aimed at or motivated by love for the country, love for his party, and a desire to see Liberia move forward. That's what Fallah said. He continued. He said the decisions I make on Capitol Hill are always driven by a commitment to transparency, accountability, and the greater good of our nation. He said, all the decisions that he can make on Capitol Hill, he can do it transparently, on the basis of accountability, and he said he's doing it for the country. That's what tomorrow I say. It is my hope that in time, you will see these actions for what they were, an effort to protect and uplift Liberia and our dear CDC. Let me stop down there yet. You know, Tifa behaves like he's very much smart. Maybe he is. I don't want to say he's not smart. Maybe he is. But you cannot fool people with words. Tifa will never back down from what he's doing. Tifa, when you talk about sacrifices that were made, at least you benefited from your work. Whatever you did, you benefited from it. Some of us who did it for real country, here we are seated today. But we don't care. How can a pastor who goes to church every day and people carry money to him, every day people make sure they pay tithes and offering and everything, then a pastor tells you that he's committed to the things of God, especially when he's benefiting from the church. Then a member who is not getting anything from the church, but goes to church every day, rain or shine, that member is not getting anything. They pay their own way. They got to look for money before they go to church. And then that member commitment versus the pastor's commitment. Who is more committed to the church? Because the pastor is benefiting. Your reward itself is difficult for us to tell that you are motivated by love, by commitment and dedication. Especially when the rewards you get from there. I mow. So you see the difference? We can now look down. That's why you see Jesus Christ when he went in the church and they say, oh yeah, the king will pay offering. You saw people bringing 10,000, the other 1,000 here and there. Then the widow took a little dime that she had. Jesus Christ rated that woman as being the best person who had given to God than those people who are bringing their thousands. Tifa, you have never endured suffering in the CDC. You have never struggled in the CDC. And I want to ask these CDC people, because Tifa's statement here, he wouldn't speak to the fact that he, Tifa alone, all the resources that were spent in Lofa County, he did it on his own and he never gave any time. I don't know. I don't just know. If the Tifa own personal money he took and then did that in Lofa County, in fact, it was not entirely in Lofa County, but of course, he rallied the folks in Lofa County. And Tifa, you did that because that was a role. Vice chair for operation of the CDC, you have fought and done everything to make sure that your standard bearer wins. That was a tax, that was a duty. And it was the most honorable thing that you have ever done. But virtue of your position, the CDC had always supported you. In Mosorado County, the CDC supported you. So when you went to your own county in Lofa County, the CDC was there with you. I can remember in 2000 and in 2020, when the senatorial elections issues were ongoing, there were people who were saying, "Look, Tifa was not the right person to have been the senator," but the CDC stood behind you as one of their own, and they said, "No, we are going to push T5. He is going to be the senator. He is going to face Abraham Darius Delon," and all of the support was given you T5. Don't forget those moments. The CDC has never let you down. The CDC has never let you down. Going to Lofa and doing what you could, it was like paying back. Every moment of your life now going forward, T5 is like giving back to the CDC. Look, there are certain roles we play in life. When people have reached us to a certain level that we did not envisage ourselves reaching, and then we are there today, and we decided to look back to those people and decided to do things that they will benefit from, but rather see it like paying back than saying that we are sacrificing for them. No, it is payback time. Tifa, you are paying back. So your statement to say, look, the party came from 7% up to 37%, to granted. Congratulations. Thank you. That sacrifice was a collective one that was done. Let's continue with his statement. And he says here that it is hope that in time the party will see his actions. Tifa, let me ask you a question. Your statement here, that I say, I don't know who wrote it in for you or whether you wrote it for yourself. Your statement here speaks clearly that you are doing things in isolation of the party. This is politics, Tifa. No one hit anybody with surprises in politics, especially when you are part of the whole. For the fact that you put here, that you say, it is my hope that in time you will see his action, meaning you are not in touch with your party. Your party does not know what you are doing. Everything you are doing, you conceive it to yourself. And you want to hit them with surprises. And if they are not aware of your moves, and your moves are seen such that it undermines the interest of the party or the integrity of the party, don't you expect attacks to be real at you? People will attack you. At what point do you start standing for the party? When you're fighting against the party interest, do you think you and your friends within the party are going to be fighting each other? If for any reason it's in the best interest of the party, is it fighting any good reason or any trademark of best interest? So you are saying in time. So I come here and I'm at King's FM. I make sure I'm taking the guys off. Everyone is struggling. And I'm there telling them, say, do you bear with me? But time will come, you will get to know about it. I got to explain to them because we are all one. They should know what we are going through because they are going to face those things as well. We are all going to face it the same way. They should be in the know that if there's any strategy, we all can work around it. If there's any reason that we want to get surprises, it should be us together bringing up those surprises. Not for selfish interest. What you just demonstrated, even for your statement right here, to say in time, CDC will know what thing and are doing it here for. So what thing you doing it for that they don't know? People visited you at your house. You shunned them. You are not willing to share with anybody what your plans are. You are not willing to talk to anybody about your plans. And you're writing your communication acknowledging that indeed what you are doing Time will come, the people will know. Who are you to conceive from the political leader? Let's agree. Who are you? At least if there is a leader who is speaking and say, look, I'm doing X, Y, Z, then we say, yeah, we can always look up to the leader, right? But you are not. Tifa, what you are doing is hurting, it's even damaging the image of the political leader. They are even, you are betting of your action and all. They are saying the political leader is involved. You are hurting the man, you are hurting everything, and you don't care to tell the man whose image is being damaged as a result of your action. Then you say, time will come, you will get to know and what I'm doing, or people will know what I'm doing. What is it you are doing that you're not telling people? Tifa, we all went to school. Yeah, I know you two also did. The levels don't matter. You can be at any level, but the reasoning matters. Tifa, tell the people. They want to know. What is it you're adding for them? You just say, wait. When I'm feeling, I will get to know my actions. He's not even apologizing. Though the party continues to be right, Tifa is not apologizing in the statement. Meaning he's not beginning to come back. Tifa said he will continue what he's doing, and when he gets to what he's doing, you will get to know his action. Whether it will benefit you, it will not benefit you, he doesn't care. That Tifa's statement. That me wrote it in. That Tifa said wrote it. He wrote it. He wrote this thing. He put it here. He said actions are guided by accountability, transparency, and whatever greater good for the nation. Right? Good. He said, it is my hope that in time you will see these actions for what they were. An effort to protect and uplift Liberia and our dear CDC. Tifa say uplifting Liberia. And he will uplift the dear CDC because CDC is in Liberia. So let's agree. Maybe Tifa want to be president. That the only way he can single-handedly try his best. Maybe he wants to take over the CDC in the future. Maybe that the only way, but not for you to exclude the political leader. They say my actions that I'm taking is there to better the CDC and our nation. Whichever way is it not best suited when T5 is not president or political leader of the CDC. Those are the only ways. You can let the CDC when you're a political leader, and when you're a political leader, then you will be able to let the country alone. That is the only thing I see. That's the only way. Because for you to exclude the political leader, and then you are saying your actions will better the CDC. Whose action is more supreme to better the CDC than the political leader? 85. You went to school, Chief. I don't know. But they want you to so now. It gets small problem around. It wouldn't tells you your hearing objectives and your hearing agenda is now becoming clear. That is Tifa for you. Tifa, your own statement, and I do anything, I just analyzing your own statement. You said your action, people will get to know what they are. That you live on the CDC. Is there any way that you're planning to kick out George Weah and take over his party? Or take over the party? That's why you still want to act like you are still with the CDC, but dear CDC people, is that with no acknowledgement of your actions, then Tifa moves on and continues to say, in the light of recent developments, I welcome the party's decision to suspend me pending investigation. I fully submit to our internal process led by the Grievance and Ethics Committee, understanding the importance of addressing the concerns as raised. This process is vital for maintaining the integrity of our party and restoring the trust of our members. I stand ready to cooperate fully with hope that we can emerge stronger and more united in the years ahead. Great one. Then let's come. He said, as we move forward, I hope that we can find it in our hearts to continue working together for the betterment of Liberia. Our journey is far from over. There is still much we can achieve as a united force. Let us remember the core values that brought us together and strive to uphold them. No matter the challenges we may face today, with all my love and gratitude. That's T5. T5. You talk about unity. You talk about we hold together. Then you telling people in your own statement. You see how you contradicted yourself here? You say, despite the challenges, we should hold together. But T5, you are telling people that indeed you, T5, the thing that you're doing, they put not understand it yet. When you reach there, then they will be able to understand it. You are not operating as a unifier. You are on a solo. Your own statement, Chief. In your statement, in your any, you say we must unite, we must hold together, we must do this. How are we holding together when we don't understand each other? So what is that reason? Why is it you can't tell that same reason to Foko? Why Foko does not know that reason? They agree that you even get problem with Fonati. Why Foko does not know that reason? Why even the garden who left the CDC that on our side, the Julie Fato, we are the photo, all those people that you ask them question, they would never give you any clear-cut reason. Okay, they're on your side already, right? They should be able to understand your reason. So you only validate that UT5, you are the mastermind of everything that happened. Because you say your actions. In your statement, you did not even recommit yourself to Fonati Kofa, like you were doing for the onset of the crisis. You wouldn't say my actions because you are gone, T5. You are gone. You are gone, T5. And everyone is aware that you are gone. And you can play that game. The only reason you are doing these things to play on the minds of the people because you believe that tomorrow morning, people may like they won't come burn down your house or do something terrible to you or start targeting you and you in most radical country, so you won't be skeptical as to what it is. But I don't think the Sidicians will be able to go that far. Because I know there are some of them who are very angry at what you are doing. And they are saying that they could target you and get everything you ever earned on their sweat. They will get it from you. There are people in the street corners. You know, some of these things that we come up to say to you so that you will know that the action you are taking is hurting people. But you just think by saying, oh, CDC, I stay with y'all, all this, that, that. You have to protect yourself because you don't have a base. You are now vulnerable. So you want to act like you are staying with them, and the people know you are gone. You can't fool them. Let me tell you about years of political commentaries I've done in this country. The CDC people, they are people that you can't in any way fool them. When you are one of them, they know. When you are against them, they know. They are very smart. The CDC man will see you in the street and see your fellow Sidician, the way they conducting themselves, they will come straight and tell you, say, but man, you're not behaving like us anymore. They are very smart at that. Their political leaders don't need to tell them. You, Tifa, you know the very people that you did. These are people who are willing to die. They fight needing nothing in return. They just need a simple call. That's all they need. And like what you said today, they just need a money. If in CDC, you don't have option. You don't have choice. When they tell you it's a mandate, you must follow. That's how CDC looks. And you are aware of that group. If you endanger yourself, you endanger it. I don't know whether you endangered or whatever it is. Because I believe there's still room. Right? Endangering yourself politically is bad. You are getting too vulnerable. Chief, you need your base. You need your base. Where you going is becoming bad for you by the day. You are exposing yourself. You are making yourself weak. And Chief, nobody gets breaches here when the power of the people not behind you, I can name several other people who say they have money. Vanessa Shemon, ask Vanessa Shemon. You know how many papers Vanessa Shemon gave to Unity Party in 2011? Before you could join Unity Party? You know where they took the money there from? Where is Vanessa Shemon there today? Our next people, Tifa, where you are today, there are people though. All these teenagers are living on your quiet wealth. It's not wealth. You like it, you build schools, you whatever it is. They are nothing. They are not properties that you can depend on. You know why? Because it is at the mercy of people. Those properties can survive at the mercy of people. If people don't want to go to your school, Tifa, your school will break down. And they look at your school and they say, whatever it is, we don't want to go there. Your school will break down. So these kind of investments, they are investments that are subject and at the mercy of people who want to do business with you. For you to maintain what you got, you know the foundation on which your wealth is built. It's on the people's power. That's how you got your wealth. And losing it, you are losing your wealth alone. I can name you former government officials who are struggling here today. They build houses, they build mansions. But you need a base. And you know what that base is? It's the political base. Snow, they stay in the hedge at the hedge of power because Snow got through the rank, and Snow is still enjoying the powers of the people. You know what that does? It connects you to people. Tifa, let me tell you something. Let me give you the advice. Maybe you think you don't need we are in Lofa County. Granted. You may go Lofa County in 2023, 2029, sorry. Fight hard. And if it becomes unfortunate for you that you join, or maybe you join Jeremiah Kuhn or the Unity Party or wherever you're going and you think that you don't need a CDC anymore, let's agree that you even want your representative seat in Lofa County. Whether it's all to come, and to come become speaker now. What if the government of the day is the CDC that you are fighting against today, using the very money you generated from the CDC to fight against the CDC? Why if the government of the day is the CDC that you are fighting against today? And tomorrow you come up for that Lofa County as a representative and you want to be maybe a speaker or deputy speaker anymore. And they tell you, say, we'll not give you any of it. And we'll fight against you. And that time power is in their hand. Tifa, what will become of you? You know, sometimes when people, you know, like I said, there's a way God can destroy people. When someone is destined for destruction, the only thing God can do to you, God does not hate you on your, just your decision. God can just play with your mind, play with your decision. The moment your decision, because every life we live here, our decision, that only decision can trigger everything. Your make and break movements are centered around the decision you make. Tifa, watch out. Watch out. I warn you, I got anything against you. You know that one too good, man, Chief. You know, I will be one last person who will get. I am warning you seriously. 2029 is not far. Even before we reach to 2029. Despite whatever will happen in this week of this thing, whether you succeed or whatever it is, Tifa, you are hurting yourself by the day. And that wealth that you sit on, that you call wealth, it is a people's sweat wealth. And when they withdraw that from you, Chief, you are done. Just know it today, Tifa. Listening officials. Oh, you're that thing, you're not around. And you don't want this in the weird. You saw your whole son here, your whole communication here. You did not pay any tribute or respect to President Weah in your entire communication. T5, your entire communication. Your political leader expressed disappointment in you. You did not even apologize for that. You did not apologize for that. For The image of the political leader that as a result of your action, it is destroying and ruining him by the day. Except people did not know we are. That when that nonsense that we're not talking, people who are believing. People say that, they say, but we are not like that. We are is not somebody who will do that to Thomas or to Fanatico. No. The people know it. T5. As a brother to you, me and let it be fair to put, I'm they kind of hard to reach brother. I can be blunt with people. I say Bento is the star 79 star 100 hash. That's what you play with. It's you get 200, 150. So you getting me? T5, I'm talking to you as a junior brother. And my love for you is unquestionable because I have gone and supported your strive. I sacrificed. I love you, T5. Deep down in your heart, you don't say, hey, yeah, bad or me, no, I'm not bad. So, at least, I fast by this night to look at your own letter, your own statement of the setting, the investigation. But you say you will continue what you are doing, but subject yourself to investigation. You still want to create out of the CDC. Do you know why they suspended you hot? The jail got stay. You can't be continuing what you're doing. You want an investigation. Yeah, there you got to hot what you are doing. Explain to the people. For them to suspend you is to tell you, say, look, what you are doing is not right. Hot. Come for investigation. But you T5 in your communication, in your stuff, you say you will continue doing what you are doing. T5, Chief, I love you, and I'd always love you, and I will continue to love you. What you are doing is wrong. You are hurting yourself. People that we have gone far in school and we have done a lot of research. We know exactly where we are and we know how people have been brought down in history. Tifa, what you are doing, you are hurting yourself. I know Liberia too. The best thing I always try to do is to study about Liberia because that's where I'm living, that's my environment I'm in. I must know my environment. I've always studied about Liberia. The day I enter into politics, those mistakes people make. NSA experience a great teacher. So now it has to be personal experiences, right? Teachable experiences are personal experiences. Now, other people's experiences can also help you and teach you. I know exactly how people have crumbled in this country. Tifa, you don't have what it takes to sustain your wealth without government attachment. You don't have what it takes. I'm saying there's some of these things will be saying that people say, oh, evidence, that me. When I love people, that the people that I can talk to, I can advise, I can talk to them, advise them on what they ought to do. So, hint to the wise is quite sufficient. If Tifa is very wise, then this hint is sufficient. If he is unwise, then this hint here is not sufficient. And we're not here. Let us watch out for what is happening. Let us watch out what is happening. Fanati is not going to resign. You will have to get a number. So let's see what happens. Tifa, don't let the people fool you. They will fool you and they will dump you. They will not be able to help you. Let me tell you where you go. That Jeremiah Kuhn, listen. Jeremiah Kuhn said it getting so nasty for him because the Unity Party will experience a serious split. So where will you be, Tifa? Where are you going to place them? Because the United Party people are fighting over their government so that they can succeed themselves. Where will be your place? Oh, you want to take all your money and then carry that? No problem. Carry your money there. Carry your money. And I have God. Yeah. The way God can operate, like when God ready to destroy you, what he does, he can harden your heart so that your decisions can lead you to your own destruction. God does not come to just destroy you. God will use you. Your own decision will lead you to your destruction. And you say, oh, yeah, well, I blame myself. God will never take the blame for anybody's destruction. It will be yourself. And that yourself will be stubborn. And that yourself will do it to yourself. When you finish doing it to yourself now, you will sit and say, what I rather do it to myself. Yes, that's how God can operate. Especially people who are ungrateful. That's how God can operate. God will make sure that you will take your own blame. God not coming to come what you just see, you don't have anything to do. You just know. You will take your own blame for what happened to you. So the blame you will take T5 in subsequent time is AB will. Eh? They were saying AB they used to be saying it now. AB they used to be saying it now. The health workers then were telling them AB they used to be saying it. I know they're saying that within their corner and they say AB they you. I saw net workers, they were protesting. You know why they were protesting? Those net workers. The one look at it. One of their senior members went and sent me the audio and said, look, Gafua had gone there. The net people are discovered because the kind of election, something that they were going to, there was serious rates involved with the electoral process. So the weird government put money in the budget for the net workers as insurance. So that the rates that they are taking, so they put money there in the neighborhood of 5 million. That after the whole thing, these people will be able to get that money, at least to help themselves. The next people just got to find out that despite all the things that they were doing for Unity Party, and then cheating for Unity Party, helping Unity Party decided to scratch out that money and eat the money. So I look at it and say, but why are they protesting? I don't know. Everyone who fought against where they are experiencing turmoil as we speak. The health workers are in turmoil. The net workers are in turmoil. Every other people who contributed to the backwardness of this country, they are all unstable. That's what is happening now. Because we're saying that they didn't listen. So that's why you saw Gafwan there. You think I waited today or other protesting and no, ever since. I knew about that before I could even come to Ghana. I knew about the story. That the government swept it. The health workers' money was there, 5 million. The government swept it. That is what's happening now in Liberia. Tifa, watch yourself. Be very careful. It's not late. Where you are going is not your home. Where you are going, you have no trace there, nothing. Nobody knows you, no matter what it is. The people who are uniting with you, they know how terrible you are. But they are working with you because they think they can use you to achieve their goal. The moment they achieve it, they will now turn to how terrible you are. And you will now start telling them, say, you know, at 75 we are, I don't want to get the CDC speaker move from there. I fought against my own. But I got to tell you want to be telling the people, I fought against my own party. I stay against my own standard bearer to make sure that we read it. And I cannot regret. That kind of thing. You see what God can do? That kind of thing will be coming for you. We fought against our own party. Make sure I fought against my own standard bearer. So I will move the CDC speaker from there. That me you're looking at today. That's what you want to go say? Because obviously you will say that. Anyway, or into the wise is quite sufficient. Where is Israel Paul we are seeing? He's right there with you in Monrovia, and you can pick your course. But that is why your Thomas father responded to the CDC. He decided to suspend some of the 11 members who are staying there, and T5 being the head, he accepted it, and then said that he will subject himself to the investigation, but he will continue doing what he's doing, and one day the CDC people will know why he's doing it for. He's doing it for the party in Liberia. In fact, he is always there for the country, you know. So let's look at it, and that's what it is. So we'll try to get to the lines, interact with you. our callers right here on this very time. And I we think for sure we are certainly getting there. So it is you can keep playing your stuff giveaway, and Israel Boy will say we'll be able to pick your calls from there, and then we can have a successful one home, and so that we rest. And I want to say thanks to all of you. Isaac Goni is saying that maybe T5 forget his history during the days when things weren't okay with him, but we can assure him his cup will soon be full, and we will know bomb. Okay, right now, okay, that one comes in the shorter manner. So Israel Boy will say we'll now try to entertain your calls and then do the draws for those people who won for tonight. We get 20,000. 3 persons will get 20,000, and 1 person will get 100,000. That star 79 star and 100 hash. That's a stuff here. So Israel, what we are saying is going to do that tonight, right here on this very line. Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing you on screen. You gotta put yourself on. Yeah. Okay. You're there now. Yeah. And Israel, what we are seeing. You are video. You gotta leave your go kind of money again.
Yeah, so we do the draw. Let's see quickly. The phones are ringing, but let's do the draw first.
Yeah. No, other phones be ringing while you're talking to them. You can be doing the draws on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can just start picking your calls now. Yeah.
All right. Suppose
So
the
it's all
calls
yours.
you know the number. So, all right. Let's go to the female quickly. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Asia.
Your name, where you calling from?
My name is Beatrice Ria. I'm from West for the former president birthday from Bokuba United.
Go ahead.
I want to thank you for the show for tonight. My only topic goes to Tomo Fallah. Tomo Fallah know the game that he and Jeremiah could play. Now you'll be asked Fallah, now you'll be safe. So Tomo Fallah, they funny on me to take Frantic over for them. And when they take Frantic over for them, then they fire her to impeach Waka. So Jeremiah will sit down and they see a cool and Tomo Fallah they own. But they were not succeed. They take it speak up for them.
Go to the main line. Good evening.
Hello?
Where you calling from?
My name is Eddie P. calling from Chicken Soup Factory Memory Respondent Defense Team. And let me say what's up to AB. I hope you eating so talk AB. Well, see, Tomo Fallah, they get disappointed, or especially to be honest with you, my brother. We know expected Tomo Fallah to behave this way. Now, instead of for you to come and apologize to the Liberian people, especially we the citizens that have been suffering behind you, then you coming out to say you use it type of statement and that. You know, it's not fair. They gotta just be that they get money, and you know, so they just want to override all is wrong, but they respecting President Weah. That's why I hate us today. Look at yesterday, the one President Weah said, according to Gaza, some of them rejected President Weah for. That how for you to behave. Then today, someone found that we should get that respect today. We will not get that respect. To be honest with you, we just disappointed in there. If you Tomo Fallah, the ABC, you did the definite at 2029, a far off. Stop that you're doing, Tomo Fallah. It's wrong. That's how you behave to us. Someone that torture you every time we're going for we're fighting for you. Look at how you behave to all.
Thank
we
you.
Disappointed you, Tomo Fallah.
Thank you. Thank you. So 30 seconds to take everybody. Good evening.
Hello.
Where you calling from?
My name is Abu Koba, calling from Tori District, Otto County.
Daniel Landell. Yeah,
yeah, but girl space, man. I mean, when the women struggle on the now, why you can't get in chase?
Oh, yes, here?
Yeah, that is women are really low.
Yeah, we in the AP. How are you?
Yeah, how you doing?
Mohammed Pastor calling from Broadway, Iron Gate.
Hey, Pastor, let's hear from you.
AB, thank you for the discussion this evening. You know, AB, just what you are saying, that is a fact. Tomo Fallah there, they will raise out of history when it comes to political issue in Liberia. Now CDC made that man. We swear for him to be there. If the way he treated us, like me, I get mad because of Thomas Fallah. That is the enjoy election. I almost died at the party headquarters when I was sharing t-shirt. So anytime you're calling me on the radio, my blood boiling. I swear to God, brother, if something is going to happen to someone all are free, you know the guy, I really don't understand what the people want in life. Look at the kind of dating. We went to that place, justify. That university he built, I was there. Anytime we went there, but this is something I get bosses with people. You know the guys, I don't know what they want on the ice here. You can't be satisfied with what God gave you. Yeah, man. But however, we waiting. The party are the people. It's not human beings. They're not CDC headquarters. They're not John we are. The party is we the one that in the strong community. We made that party. And we still go back. And raise 2029. But the best Almighty God. All of them will show that say, oh, we here.
Thank you, Pastor.
No, we never work in government. But thank God, we are living. We're watching there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor. So let's come back to the female line. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, only male line. Just go to our line. Yeah, my concern has to do with Thomas Fallah. Thomas Fallah business 2020 campaign. Someone was coming back. But that God be with him. They see on great one Jeremiah who apply on President Weah to the end of campaign coming start. He twists to United Party that I think he Thomas Fallah coming to boy. Kumpa, no problem. But Fallah, you are we are made. You will never be successful in that you never pass through with me or any woman that the only way you'll be successful in this. But Father will never be successful in this. He will get all his riches, but Christ will be upon him and his children in the woman. Now open for God to say, now our family decision. Now blessing she takes from the party.
Thank you.
That God be with me.
Thank you. Let's take one more on the female line.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hello, God, you here?
The name where you calling us from?
Let me say hi to my son, AB. Yeah, Bob, you are saying, look, I'm sharing tears tonight. So see someone for justifying the wrongdoing. Oh, look, I don't know what to say. I want to ask my little question. I want to ask Tifa. What is Jeremy those sheriffs? What is Jeremy those sheriffs that will tell people and the large he told us on what we need that party. So you should leave our party. What is still today? Jeremy those sheriffs, Tifa. Because I say so too. You talk about benefiting, they tell you for the plain fee. And they brought me up. We run cafe here for good 6 years. Nothing will for anybody here. Not what you coming at all. So they said, oh, you get back to CDC, FIFA, that you talking those things there? On the end, you justify your wrongdoing. You should apologize to the people. To the CDC people, you to a political leader, you tell it, oh, you justify your actor. FIFA, let God bless you. Let God be with you. But let's tell you, I'm reminding you about Jerry those Sherry. The attitude to allow. What become on Jerry those Sherry? What become on? Give me 3 years. Give me your job. So they'll come out to rest because you try the party. And when you play a rock person, we are still there. He might be. Well, they say we are talking behind there. Jerry. So if you see what you do to all a school for play your hard work, let God be with you.
Thank you so kindly. Let's see. We take someone on the WhatsApp line. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah.
Israel boy, we are here.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Ibrahim Connor calling from Alabama, the USA.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, my dear brother. I say thank you to my niece AB in Ghana, Akwaba. Look, I listened to Tamafala letter that he just wrote if you were reading it. My response to it, Tamafala, you're fighting for your pocket. That's the reason why you don't want to tell anybody what you're fighting for. We don't want to wait. Discuss it with what you're fighting for. Discuss it with the standard bearer. But you just want to keep it to yourself? We're not children. Discuss it with the party, with the institution. But you're fighting for your pocket, my dear brother. You know, that ungratefulness. You know, on a great day. So first of all, I just commend my my party for the suspension, and you know that that'll be available for the Griffin and Ethics Committee, so they can go through the investigations. You know, so but I think Fallah is fighting for her pocket. It's not fighting for the pocket. For the party. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly, AB. Thank you so. Let's go to the mail line and take this person. Good evening.
Good evening, Israel.
Yeah.
And let me say good evening to AB. I'm Delaney. I'm Ishmael J. Delaney.
Go ahead.
You know, I have been saying these things for a long time, and that was since when T5 went and ostracized those Liberians who intend to pledge their loyalty to CDC. After they lost their life, they left their family vulnerable in Lopa there. When the case was at the Supreme Court, T5 went to reconcile with the defender. Until up to now, even Liberian people do not know the outcome of that particular case, but rather the family are vulnerable. And I felt that it was at that moment that T5 had betrayed the party. And I said with the view at that time that the party should have a strong stand on the action of T5. But when we try to say these things, it went to boys, oh, they man not clear. You're not clear institution. And they man, no. This action that T5 also took, one person also said that T5 should be expelled.
Okay.
But now the party should be coming with a decision. I even said it before the former president could say that there is need that you must be suspended and only go investigation then before expulsion.
Okay.
And they should serve as a signal to everyone who want to go on the party ticket. Let us stop selling party tickets to people who want to come on the party.
Thank you so much, Delaney. Let's leave it right. Let me go to the Lone Star line too. Good morning. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear brother Israel Bossy. Good evening to my mentor, as I always call him, AB, in a great Republic of Ghana. For the recognition for the public, I'm Pokat Rabot. And I am the dynamic PRO of the record intellectual militant of the Blue Revolutions in Escatia, the Martin Coalition of Democratic Change. And I join you from the grounds of the Martin Coalition of Democratic Change for this hour. But yet, the party will always be a serious manner party in the perpetual action. And today, the action is show the party moral ability, seriously speaking, for the party to deal with their own, for going against the Liberian Constitution, not even the Constitution. Because the Constitution of Liberia is supersede all political party constitution. So the party was not looking at their constitution first. They were looking at the Republic of Liberia Constitution that our partisans that said that the academic is more the country interest. They conclude the party there with them today is signify the party seriousness about making the country to be a serious mother country. And I tell the guy from Upper Broad Street for the Union Party to do that they cannot do it. They don't have that moral standing to deal with it for their wrong. For our party, we are very happy about our party.
Thank you.
As I said earlier, before my party can speak, you are declared as a person of grata, and you are not a citizen. So anywhere of our party, around our party, God will see you there. Trust me. No, you will be resting even your presence.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you. Let's call our very first locket number. First locket number quickly. We're running out of time. We'll take your calls. We'll come back. All right. We'll take your calls. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
I'm Peter Kaye.
Peter Kaye. Peter, you played the Three Wise Men Jackpot.
Yes, sir.
How many times you play?
I played 3 times.
You played 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow. So is this name registered with your mobile money number?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you say the name again?
Peter Kaye.
Peter Kaye. How you spell the last name?
Karyea.
Karyea.
YEA.
YEA.
Yes.
Okay. So Peter, congratulations! You won for yourself 20,000 Liberian dollars.
Whoa! Thank God. God favor me today.
Okay. So you will receive the money in your account just in the couples of seconds here. Thank you. Okay. So let's quickly call the next lucky number. Let's dial this. I'm coming. We'll take your calls quickly. Let me do this. 888. Right. 720477. So that's 888-720477. So I call the next. Coming to your calls. I call the next. All right. Let's see quickly here. People got a wing tonight. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. What's your name?
Lofty.
Huh?
Lofty.
Oh, Lofty.
Yeah.
Lofty, did you play the Three Wise Men, the Jackpot?
Yeah.
How many times you play?
2 times.
2 times.
Yeah.
Okay. So that the name register with your mobile money number?
Yeah. Lofty.
Nadia Lofty.
This one.
Okay. So how you play?
I dial star 799 star 100 hash.
Okay. So you say what is the name registered with this mobile money number?
Lofty Despoir.
Lofty Besqua?
Despoir.
Spell that last name.
DESUA.
Wait. Take your time, mama. You say we are? DESU. Yeah.
AH.
Okay. DESUAH.
Yeah.
Okay. Lofty. All right. So Lofty.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've won 20,000.
Wow. Thank you.
Okay. So you received that money. So quickly, let's take calls. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My brother as well.
Yeah, you know where you're calling from.
Yeah, thank you. This is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Upper Cowell. And I saw Tom Fallah respond, and I'm highly disappointed. And Tom Fallah, I want you to understand that you were breaking in your response, and you took off from 7% to 37% in Lofa. But I want you to know that the CDC took you for on a plain field in a month, and today you are deputy speaker. So everything that you did for the party, you were paying the party back because you were nowhere, and we took you from there and we carry you somewhere. So for you to be bragging about taking off from 7% to 35%, we changed your life. We took you from plain field. You think you are the only physician at the time in District 5, but God located you the president we are today. You are paying the party back with evil. Look, let me say this to you, Brother Tifa. For you to even identify yourself with Jeremiah Kun, with everything Jeremiah Kun did to our party, with everything Jeremiah Kun did to President, we are for you as person that you that will respect a lot. For you to even align with Jeremiah Kun is a serious disaster for us. We will never forgive you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take one more there. I'll come to the grooming line. Good evening.
Good evening.
You know where you're calling from?
Yeah, Israel. I mean, some of us do all that thing. Based that Jeremiah can gain money. And now I'm going to be exposed. Some of us just start away from the poor. You'll be exposed in the country.
Okay, thank you.
So you're forced to do all that thing that you're doing.
Okay.
You got to use the hand to put in the fire. So now, for you to escape from the poor, it'll be hard.
Thank you.
So like,